Okay, well, here we are. This is the place I was telling you about in last weekend's episode. This is the one with the big 3,000 foot hike up this real narrow canyon in this wash. It's going to be a pretty cool episode today. I've been looking forward to finally documenting this one. This is my third attempt. The first two didn't go very well. We had rain, overcast, high winds. It was crazy. And this is going to require some drone work to be able to truly appreciate this location. So right up over here, there's a canyon off to my left. That's where I'm headed right now. It's probably right up around this hill here. What we've got here is a zinc mine. And from what I've read in the reports, it has two shafts. Let's hope that those shafts are incline shafts and in decent shape. And it also has one horizontal haulage at it, but it sounds like it doesn't go in very far. I don't know, we'll just have to see when we get there. Let's hope that they're not gated. I don't think that they're going to be because of how remote and how difficult this mine is to get to. So yeah, this is going to be a fun one. But it's going to take me a little bit of time to hike this canyon. And then when we get up there, there's a whole bunch of equipment laying around outside the mine. They were doing some kind of processing or crushing of the zinc ore right outside of the mine before taking it down this canyon, probably using mules. They would have to. There's no road to this mine, so I'm hoping I can find one of them mule paths, you know, that'll take me up there. That'll kind of help with the hike. Okay, I'm gonna get up here to the location. We'll park old Bob, get the drone up in the air, and I'll show you this canyon that I'm gonna be hiking up into today. All right, let's get after it. Okay guys, all geared up. I got everything I think I'm gonna need for this adventure. Check out my ensemble. Yes, backpack, helmet, 2 drones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cameras, and a very adventurous heart. Yeah, this one's gonna be a lot of fun. There is some really cool banding in all of these rocks around here. I can't wait to get up higher to see what's running through all of this dolomite limestone, if it's galena or what it is. It's really interesting looking. We're gonna have to get a close-up view of that. Okay, well, let's get into this squirrely little canyon. Now there's another mine in the mouth of this canyon. I saw it on my maps, and it looks like we have it right up here. Now this may be something that we'll explore on the way back out, or if it's something I can get into, I'll put on another episode, maybe a short or something like that. We'll just have to see. All right, well, we got our first dried up waterfall. And now I got to figure out how to get up and over this obstacle. That's the thing about these washes. You run into these dried up waterfalls. Pretty cool looking through here though, that's for sure. All right, let's see how we're gonna do this. Problem is I got all this stuff on me, so if I do come down, I'm coming down harder than you would if you weren't wearing a backpack and all that good stuff. That's how I almost broke my arm once. I did something, as a matter of fact, just like what I'm about to do right now. And the weight of my pack came down on my right arm. I felt it flex. It was right there. I almost broke it. All right, there we go. Not too bad. All right. Okay, next obstacle. Oh boy. Okay. There we go. Next obstacle. Oh, we got rail. There's rail in the wash. That came down from somewhere. Yeah. Okay. Looks like that used to be a portal right there. Doesn't go anywhere though. Probably all been filled in with all the gravels. Okay, let me show you here. That's what I just climbed up right there. Okay, turning around. Wow. Look at this cool box canyon here. Yeah, you don't want to be in here during a flash flood. Nope. Well, I hope we don't get button hooked by a really big dried up waterfall. Oh no. Wouldn't you know it? That's what I was worried about. Look at this. Well, obviously we're not the first ones here. Somebody left their rope in place right there. Yeah. Wow. I knew I was going to have a challenge today, but now I got to stand here and figure out how to get past this next dried up waterfall. Or if I want to trust their old rope, I don't, at least it's been anchored from the top. All right, guys, I'll be back. All right, guys, back at old Bob here. Yep, reevaluating the situation. Oh, I can't believe this. This mine is just turning out to be, well, a difficult one. First, I couldn't get up here because of the weather, and now we're getting button hooked by dried up waterfalls. See, that's why this one's never been documented, because it's so hard to get to. So after I shut the camera off up there, I looked the whole situation over. It's about an 18 to 20 foot ascent. It's got that old rope hanging there that was put in place who knows how long. Yeah, it's been just sitting out in the elements, so you don't want to trust that rope. Especially if you're carrying all this extra gear and extra weight to get halfway up it, and there you go. Now you're down with an injury, and the entire winter exploring season is done, just like that. The other thing I have to take into consideration is if I did somehow navigate that obstacle, I still got to hike another 2,500 feet or more up that. Is there any more dried up waterfalls? I still have to explore the mine, and I have to hike all the way back down to get to that obstacle. By the time I do all that, my physical condition is going to be absolutely wiped out. My legs are going to be rubber, neuropathy through the roof, and it's not going to be good. I don't want to have to navigate that obstacle later in the day, especially with all this equipment. So I jumped back into my maps. And maybe, just maybe, we're gonna drive down there right now. There's another draw to the east. Maybe I could go over to that draw, then hike overland up and over the top of this big tall mountain, and then drop down onto the mine. That's another thing that I can do. The only problem with that is with where the sun is right now. The rattlesnakes are all going to be sitting on the sunny side of the hill, and that is right where I'm going to be hiking. And this is the time of the year where they're still coming out and sunning themselves during the day. They have not quite denned up yet. So if I go overland, that's something to take into consideration. They're out there. They're hiding behind the rocks and whatnot. So, okay, I'm going to drive down here, go east, and we're going to get a better look at this other canyon. Maybe that's another route that we can take to get to this mine. All right, here we are. This is the next canyon over right here. And as I got out and I looked at it, it's just too steep and too rugged to hike that and go overland. It's also too late in the day. There's not enough time to get to the mine, explore it, and get back before dark. And remember, the sun goes down a lot earlier this time of the year. Oh, come on now. And that's what happens when you get stuck in sand. There you go, Bob. Four-wheel drive. There we go. So, what's the plan? Well, the map is showing that at the head of this big canyon here, there's prospects, but it is showing some added symbols. There's no names. It's a no-named prospect, but maybe the road gets close enough to it to where we can get to it and at least salvage this day. Yeah, I'm gonna have to come up with a plan B for this mine. Either come back up here with the hammer drill and put in a fresh anchor, a better rope, something like that to get to that mine. But I'm not gonna do it in the condition that it's in. So, okay, here we go. Let's go all the way up to the head of this canyon here and see if we can get to these prospects. Alright guys, we're in luck. We've got mines. Yes, we do. And it was real nice to be able to climb up this wash with old Bob. Yeah, that was kind of convenient. I like that. So I'm going to get up here and park and get the other drone out and fly around just a little bit and get a better look at these from an aerial view, okay? All right, I'll be right back. Okay, there we go. It looks like we're going to be able to get in at least 3 or 4 of them around here. The one with the largest waste rock pile is right over there. This one I'm going to put in the number 2 slot, the one that has the ore chute. And then after that, we'll work our way higher up on the hill to take a closer look at what looks like a giant open stope. Yeah, that drone, I tell you, it sure does take some awesome video. The camera on that thing is just absolutely superb. Thanks again, you guys, for all of you who have put donations into the tip jar to help out with that purchase, as well as all of you here recently over the last couple of weeks that have put money into the tip jar to help me out with fuel expenses. I really appreciate it. Okay, let's go right up the hill over here. We'll start off with that one, the one with the really big waste rock pile. All right, everybody, let's explore these old mines. So we're going to start with this one in the bottom. It's right next to the road here. Let me show you. Probably doesn't go in very far, but since I'm standing right here, let's poke up in here and see if it does indeed go any further. I'm getting some spider webs out of my way here. All right, here we go. Let's see what we have up in here. Spider webs. Ooh, big one. Big one. Yeah, it's like really Indiana Jones in here. Okay. Uh-oh. We got a critter. I can smell it. Well, that's fresh. What kind of critter do we have up in here? What in the world? All right, hold on, guys. There may be something up in here that I don't want to poke my nose into. First of all, let's look at the scat on the ground. That's bigger than coyote for sure. And it's fresh too. Wow, let me show you. Right there. Yeah. All right. I'm going to leave my walking stick here. We don't need that in the mine. I'm going to maintain that forward light. Boy, that's a fresh. That stinks. That smells like dog poo. Yeah, I'm going real slow here. We don't need any surprises. What do we got over here? Anything hiding up that way? Anything? Let's look. Nope, nothing there. Okay, turning around. Oh boy, I think I'm still smelling it from behind us. Well, no, we're gonna just tread cautiously here. Oh boy, there's another big pot. Oh, no, wait, is it? What is that? Yep, another one. Huh. Look at that. It's old. All right. Well, let's look at this. Well, that doesn't look like mountain lion. Looks, boy, it's just getting smellier and smellier. Well, yeah, I'm traveling real slow here. It just keeps getting worse and worse. Am I gonna come right into a den? Boy, oh boy, it's stinking. There's another, uh-oh. We got another one there. Whoa. Holy cow. What is this? Now I smell dead. Now I smell dead and rot. All right, let's poke over here real quick. Let's see what's, oh God. Oh, that's enough to gag a maggot. Oh, that stinks. What is stinking so bad? Can we see here? I don't see any skeletons or anything like that up here. Boy, oh boy, is there something stinking. Oh, okay. Is it coming from up here? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It sure is. It just keeps getting worse and worse. Oh, we got something dead up here. Something really stinking. Boy, this is just bad situation. We got fresh scat all over the floor. We got a rotting carcass, which is what's drawing in the animals. Yeah, they're coming in here. The interesting thing is that from this point, you can't see the portal, so if you're an animal coming in here, it's pitch black. I think I see our carcass down there. What the hell is that? Boy, this is just weird. What the hell is this? It's definitely part of the animal. All right. Oh, it's a tortoise. Yep, and there's our dead animal right there. Okay, let me show you here. Here's our dead desert tortoise right there. Okay. Still keeping my eye on things. I can just about barely tolerate the stink, but here it is. We found it. Let me show you what it is. It looks like a goat. No, well, no, that's a mule deer. That's a young mule deer is what we have right here. Let me look one more thing here. Yeah. Okay, so we know what's drawing them in. It's getting really, really, really musty in here. You can tell my laser's on. Yeah, I will just have to put up with it. All right, we've got cave crickets jumping around on the floor right there. Okay. I can hear a jet. It's flying over outside, and that's it. As far as it goes. All right, turning around here. And that's when I see the mountain lion. that wouldn't be a good position to be in. Have the mountain lion between you and the portal. All right, laser, come on. Call it a day. Ooh-wee, let's get past this rotting, nasty animal. Makes you wonder how that thing got drug all the way up in here. But that is definitely what was drawing in the critters. Ooh, look at this. Hold on, guys. Let me spin around here real quick. Look at that spider. Right there. Where'd he go? There he is. Let me turn the lights down just a little bit. There he is. Right there. I got the laser on him. Come on now. Move. Move. There he is. Look at how big that guy is. He's about, probably about the diameter of a $50. Yeah, that's a big guy. As I was saying, so that's why we've got scat in here. The stink was drawing in the predators. It's fresh too. Let's get out of this stinky mine. All right, I'm headed back to the portal. Now I'm gonna hike up the hill to the one with the big waste rock pile. I'll see you up there. Okay, here we are, standing on top of the waste rock pile, looking back down the wash where we came from. That big hill over there, I know it doesn't look very large on camera, but that's the one that I could have potentially climbed up and over to get to the other mine, but you can see, yeah, I don't think so. That's too much work. Okay, as I turn around here, we'll work our way into this next one. Let's see what this one's all about. I'm glad you guys are coming along with me today on this fun exploration. Yeah. Okay, what do we got here? A welcome sign and somebody's glove. Okay. All right, Mr. Rattlesnake. Where are you gonna be today? Okay, here we are. Let's get some light on the situation here. Oh, no, we don't want that. No, we don't want the party light. There we go. That's better. And make sure I got this one on. Yep. All right, we're good to go. What's that up in here? A little bit of rail sticking out there. That's a good sign. Some old vent pipe. And let's look up in there. Any glowing eyes? No, nothing stinking. That's good. Okay. So thought I saw another one of them big spiders. No. I'll tell you what, I'm going to keep... I don't usually keep that forward light on like that when I'm... because it's disorientating for you guys to see. No matter how hard I try to keep the camera still, the light moves from left to right, up. See? But knowing we've got critters, I want to see a little ways up in front of me. Okay, here we go. Now I can stand up. That's always nice. Okay. Let's look off this direction. Little thing going that way, but stops. And now it's starting to smell like bat guano. It's getting worse. Worse and worse. Oof, phew. And the mine goes off that direction. Now, okay, so here we can see what they were going after. There's the fault and the ore body and vein right there. Yep. That's why they got to this point and they veered off to the left. So we'll come back and explore that one in a minute. Wouldn't surprise me if this is another zinc mine. That seems to be what's been going on in this area. All right, around the bend. And we got one. Nope. Thought we had one going that direction. That's not the case. Now, you see this here. Let me put the camera down for a second. You guys can see this. Yeah, I think the 360 will catch it. See how they followed this right here? Right up into this plane, right through here. Yeah. But they weren't finding very good values, so they stopped. All right. Continuing on. Now you notice that gray is running all the way through here, so that's definitely not what they were mining. What they're mining is right here. Yeah, look right there. They were attempting to go up and stope that. See the vein right there? But they didn't. So they continued on this direction. All right. Now we've, they got to a fault here. They sampled the fault zone. Weren't finding anything. Lots of footprints on the ground. Yeah, that's what you get when the mines are pretty close to the road and you can drive to them. Oh, that was a... Remember those ghost echoes I was telling you about? I just heard one. Yeah, it's the craziest thing. It really does sound like there's somebody behind you. All right, what do we have here? A little bit of ground fall. We got some gobbing. Yeah, they stacked up all that rock. Oh wow, look at these big, look at them, these big chunkers falling down through this section here. And then they stacked it right there. Ooh, yikes, that one's ready to go. Okay, what's up here? Nothing. All right, turning around. Yeah, you can see all them hangers. Look at that. If you had to, it'd be a nightmare to scale this, but they were trying. Instead of hauling it out of the mine, they just stacked it all up right here. Okay. All right, unless something fun pops up or jumps at me, I'll meet you guys back outside and we'll head over to the next one. Okay, I hiked over to this other one with the ore chute over here. You can see the waste rock pile off there on the hill. That's the one we just got done doing. Old Bob's down in the bottom right there. The ore chute is right over here. Let's get a quick look at that. Right there. Okay. And the portal is right over here. What will we find in this one? That's my walking stick with the tennis ball. I've told you guys what I use the tennis ball for. All right. Looking for snakes, looking for snakes. We need some light here. There we go. Yeah. Well, I guess for you new subscribers, the tennis ball is so that, see, if there was a big snake right there, I could put that tennis ball between me and him, and it's better for him to strike that than to strike me, and if he does strike it, he won't be injured. Okay. Let's see what we got up in here. Oh, this one's a crumbly one. Yeah. That's interesting. Kind of a yellowish look to it, almost like a porphyry material. I'm not smelling any sulfur. And a lot of time you get into those porphyry deposits, they stink like rotten eggs. I'm not getting that here. No smell, as a matter of fact. Okay. What do we have up in here? So, let me know what your best guess is. Why did that mule deer, I'm pretty sure it was a mule deer, it could have been a young, I don't think it was a sheep. Anyways, how do you think it got up into that mine like it did? I doubt if it walked up in there on its own. It was probably drug up in there by an animal. Anyways, drop down in the comment section. Let me know your theories. Okay, what's up there? Oh, we just keep on going here, don't we? Yeah. We've got a tin can on the floor. Nothing too exciting. Cross ties scattered about after they pulled up the rail. Listening for noises. The kind of noises that sound like I want to eat you. All right. Nothing. Okay, what's this? Small collapse? Something coming down from above? Well, first let's look at the floor. Yeah, there's a bucket that came down, or what were they doing here? Ah, this looks like an ore pass. So if we did hike higher up on the hill, we'd probably be looking down into this hole. Remember there was that big one? We saw it on the drone. All right. Let's keep going. Limestone, limestone. However, they are following the vein right here. I pointed out to you. There's your footwall. This is the vein. That's the ore that they're following. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna say zinc. Sure looks like it to me. There's a flag from the geologists or the old mine owners. Let's see if it has a date on it. No, and most of the time they don't. All right, what do we have up here? Well, just old rotten timbers. Keeps going though. And I can stand in this one. All right. Anything? No. No, we're just on a stroll right now. I'm seeing a lot of sparkly calcite. Oh, here's an area they started stoping. Look at this. Yeah. Oh yeah, they were working it hard through here. They sure were. Okay, well, continuing on. So when it comes to critters, some of you have asked, what have I found over the years? I've come in contact with one rattlesnake, but that was before I started my channel. Skunks, raccoons, mine cats, lots of pack rats. That's about it. Getting musty. Getting really musty up in here. That's because we're coming to the face. Yeah, when you start to feel a change like that, you know that you're there. All right, let's look at what they were chipping away at here. I think somebody lost their butt on this mine. Yeah. Unless, of course, well, let me think about this for a second. So this was acting as a haulage at it. And they were probably intending on putting in more raises, which would eventually turn into ore passes and ore chutes. And seems to me like the only one that they were able to get into place was the one I showed you earlier going up. So why don't I get my butt out of this mine, hike up the hill, we'll take a closer look at that big stope, okay? But if something chews on me along the way, I'll be sure to show it to you. Yeah, that was a wise choice not to hike overland to that mine earlier. As I look out across that direction and see all those ledges that I would have had to have climbed over, I'd have never got out of there before nightfall. No, that was a good, wise decision. Just this little hill is making me winded. But part of the job, right? All right, little ways to go. All right, guys, let's explore this old mine. What are we gonna have up here? Now this is where most of the work is probably, or would have been done. Yep, see that? You know, they're going into that vein. Look at that. That's what I suspected. Here's where the work is all being done. And then up here somewhere is where they're going to be passing it down. If we can get there. Well, we got something going off that way. Let's look over here first. Boy, this thing just twists and bends all over. Okay, nothing that way. How about over here? I feel air looking off to my right. That goes back to the portal. To my left, I'm getting air in my face up here. Yep. Kind of twist around that way. What do we have over here? Kind of bends down and around. Does it go around the corner? Let's find out. Huh. Indeed it does. And here is our, how much you want to bet? Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Let's throw a rock down there. Maybe we can hear it hit that bucket. Yeah. Need a bigger rock. Let's see if we can hear it hit the bucket. Here we go. Do you hear it? Ding, ding, ding. It hit the bucket. And about that time you hear some guy go, ow! Anything up there? Sorry! But that's our ore pass. Anything up there? Exploratory. Goes up there and stops. Okay. Let's go back this direction. And we'll look up this other way. Like Swiss cheese in here. It goes all over the place. Okay, that goes back to the portal. This is where I came from. Down around the corner here. There we go. And oh, I see what we did. All right, turn it around. So I went in that one and came out that one. So this thing in the middle here is acting like a giant, that right there is acting like a big pillar. And I did a ring around the rosy. All right, let's look over here real quick before we get out of here. I think we looked up in here, didn't we? Yeah, we did already. All right, guys, that's it. That's what they did. Stopes with a big ore pass down to the main haulage at it. So now what? Well, I guess it's time to work my way back down to old Bob. And we'll wrap this one up. And he's all the way down in the bottom. But that's okay. I'm just gonna slalom this scree pile right here. All right, guys, I'll see you in the bottom. Okay, guys, well, that was a lot of fun. It didn't quite turn out how I expected it would today, but we got to see some neat stuff nevertheless. I'll see what I can do about getting back into that other mine. Like I was saying earlier, if I have to come back with my hammer drill and put in some anchors and rope or whatever it's going to take to get past that obstacle, I'll do it. But I still have a whole bunch more mines I want to take a look at this winter, so I don't know when I'll get back to it, because this one is, let me think now, it's roughly 200 miles round trip from here to base camp. So it may be a while before I take another stab at it. So guys, with that, I'm going to get on out of here. Again, thank you so much for coming along with me on another fun Bluebird Day adventure. And I'll see you again next weekend. All right, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.